Right now at 6, an Epic decision. Epic says all of its employees are going to need a vaccine to work. Find out how close they are already. And new videos and new details from this week's tornadoes in Wisconsin. Plus, it's already been a deadly year on East Washington Avenue, why local groups say things need to change right now.
This is News 3 Now at 6.
Well, thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Brad Hamilton. Epic says each of its 11,000 employees are now mandated to get the vaccine before October 1st. Adam Duxter joins us with why a growing number of cases was behind this move.
Well, headed into this weekend, Epic says only about 300 or so of its 11,000 employees had yet to be vaccinated, which is just about 3%. But leaders at the Verona-based company say it's a risk they cannot afford to take and say employees refusing the shot without a reason will now be let go. Epic announced the plans late Friday night and say they plan to work with faculty who haven't gotten the shot yet on crafting a solution. As one of Dane County's largest employers, they say they understand the implication this decision brings with it, but couldn't afford not to do it.
A big part of our role in healthcare is to set the standard and be a leader. We want to be a leader in the healthcare space to lean into the fact that the best thing to do is get vaccinated and make it clear to others that that's the right thing to do.
Earlier this year, Wisconsin Republicans tried to ban companies from requiring the vaccine. Governor Tony Evers vetoed that proposal. And under state law, employees can still claim religious or medical exemption from getting the vaccine. Tonight at 10, we'll take a closer look at the decision and explain who else in Dane County has or will follow suit.
UW Health is teaming up with legendary former Badger running back Monty Ball to get more people of color vaccinated. Today's event tried to help increase vaccination rates for African Americans living in Dane County. Right now, only 36% of the black population has received at least one dose of the vaccine. That's almost 30% fewer compared to the white population here in the county. Ball says that's why he wanted to step up and do his part.
Yeah, UW Health just reached out and contacted me, and I was like, absolutely. I think it's important, like I said, for everybody, but especially our black and brown communities are not trusting of this vaccine, and because of the information that's circulating around on social media.
People who went to today's event also had a chance to meet Ball and get a copy of his new book, which chronicles his personal battle with alcoholism, anxiety, and depression. Well, Dane County is now seeing substantial spread of COVID-19, according to the CDC. Dane County public health officials warned that these numbers were trending in this direction. The county has not implemented a mask mandate, but they did recommend earlier this week that everyone mask up, regardless of vaccination status. It's a similar story in Rock County where public health officials are encouraging mask wearing. The county's public health officer sent a notice yesterday saying that recommendations is based on the latest data. She says that she would like to see sustained improvement before modifying their guidance again. You can stay up to date with the latest mask recommendations in our area by downloading our Channel 3000 News app. It's free and you can find it on our app store. Now to weather here. Here's a look at the Capitol from our Edgewater Skycam. Another nice summer day outside, but we're following chances for more storms later tonight. Let's get to a look at your certified most accurate forecast with meteorologist Austin Kopnitsky.
And we are tracking some of those showers and thunderstorms, especially up north as of right now. But currently 76 degrees. We're looking at a northwesterly breeze of only 7 miles per hour. Humidity at about 62%, so it actually feels pretty good outside. But our air quality advisories, that's what we're watching out for as of right now still. And this is going to linger all the way through noon tomorrow. That's when we are expecting air quality to be declined due to the wildfire smoke that originated from Canada. Now you look at our severe weather outlook for this evening and early tonight. We do have a marginal risk for severe weather, which means one or two of these storms could become strong to severe. They will be isolated if you see those strong to severe thunderstorms, but locally we haven't really seen too much. The first round of storms did end up dying off as they just made their way into our northern viewing area, now reduced to just a few more showers. But up north we are seeing a little bit of redevelopment with some more storms, so we're going to watch that next batch and see how that fares repairs as it tries to make its way down south. Temperatures currently in those lower to mid 70s. Janesville, one of the exceptions there at 81 degrees. But to plan your evening, we are looking at that thunderstorm chance here over the next few hours. But then it does look like we're going to dry things out later on tonight. Mostly clear skies will eventually take over, and it'll be a good night to open up your windows. But again, if you are struggling with breathing issues, then it might not be a good night because our air quality is still struggling as of right now.
Well, check this out. This is the National Weather Service's track map for this week's tornado in Verona. The NWS says it touched down near Sugar Maple Lane and began to fall apart near Badger Prairie Park. We're also seeing new video tonight from that tornado. This video was shot on Meadowside Drive in Verona. It shows the end of the tornado as it begins to break up. You can check out the video on our website and on the Facebook page. The National Weather Service has released track maps for all 4 of the tornadoes that we saw this week in Dane County, as well as on the 7 others from around the state. We have links to all those maps on our website, channel3000.com. And we wanted to bring in meteorologist Austin Kupnitsky back into the conversation. And Austin, I really just wanted you to kind of take it away from here on how close these hit to home here in the county. I
mean, we saw those widespread strong to severe thunderstorms for a lot of communities, and that was for most of the entire state as well. So thankfully, we didn't see too much overall injuries or loss of life. That was actually extremely minimal, but we did see a ton of damage to buildings, structures, trees. So it really does make you think, but I do have to say that everyone did a great job of hunkering down whenever they possibly could here. We thankfully saw this coming a few days in advance, was able to give you the notification that you were looking for, and everyone really did their job. So it was great news, honestly, to see that we all made it through this, and now we're just doing the cleanup process, but it did hit pretty close to home. And this is a possibility in the summertime, so it's something we do have to continue to watch out for. Even a situation like tonight, 1 or 2 spots still could see some damage if we see 1 or 2 of those strong storms developing.
I was going to say, my wife and I were sleeping when we heard the alarm for the tornado at like 1 in the morning. First thing she does, she turns on the news, and first thing you're seeing is Gary. That's always a tremendous feeling to know what is going on. You guys did a tremendous job.
I spent some time in the tub that night as well. Just, you got to be safe. The sirens are going off. You take cover at that point, and people did a great job of doing so. So I have to commend the public.
Thanks so much, Austin. We appreciate that. Next tonight, the FAA is investigating a helicopter crash in Columbia County. The sheriff's office says that the helicopter was crop dusting in Randolph Township this morning when it crashed into a cornfield. A pilot was helped out, taken to the hospital, but is expected to be okay. No one else was hurt in the accident. 1 man is in custody following an overnight stabbing in Janesville, just a block away from Rock River. Police say that the 28-year-old victim was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. Police took a 27-year-old suspect into custody just a few blocks away from the incident. Janesville police are asking for your help tonight to find this man. They say he broke into a locked car outside of a Planet Fitness on July 15th and stole a purse. He later used a credit card in the purse at a Walmart in Beloit. Anyone who recognizes him should please contact the Janesville police. Well, when it comes to East Washington Avenue, 2021 has been the deadliest year in at least a decade. And the city of Madison says it's planning a new solution. But as our Tahalia Mahadeen explains, community organizers are taking the issue into their own hands.
The city of Madison has consistently been ranked as one of the best cities for cycling in the nation. But members of the group I spoke with today say when you take a global approach to safety on the road, they're not content with being the best of the worst.
We are not the traffic engineers. We are not the road engineers.
Who they are is a group of people who have had enough.
I've had so many close calls. Hardly a week goes by that I don't have some kind of interaction with a car that feels really dangerous, where I thought I might be hit by a car.
After 4 people just this year have been killed on East Washington, this group is asking the city of Madison to take action.
Build streets that are forgiving, where a mistake does not lead to death.
I'm a pedestrian, I'm a cyclist in this city, and I'm really distressed by the number of people who've been killed on East Washington Avenue.
Calling on city leaders to stand by their Vision Zero commitment.
No deaths by 2030, which is an ambitious goal, and so we want to make sure that there really is action.
It needs to be a concrete plan that anyone can look at and question, and that we can all feel good about.
A plan some say, given the racial disparities in enforcement, shouldn't involve more police.
Whenever we ask for more police presence, we're asking for more of that disparity, and I'm not comfortable with that. I don't think it's fine. But on top of that, it's just not a very creative solution, you know? Like, We can't treat this problem as if it's just some drivers behaving badly.
I believe that we can build streets in a way that encourages people to drive safely. I mean, we acknowledge people make mistakes.
District 15 Alderman Grant Foster says since the Zero Initiative was announced in July of last year, the city has been working on a proposal.
There's a lot of work that needs to happen yet. It is not very specific. So if that were the final product, I would not have confidence that we're going to get to 0 deaths in 8 years.
Alderman Foster says people looking to get involved and give feedback on the city's Vision Zero initiative should contact their alderperson to get a copy of the draft and find out when the plan will be in front of the Transportation Policy and Planning Board next.
Well, we're just a few weeks away from the start of a brand new school year, but not everyone has easy access to school supplies. Coming up, we'll show you how you can help out this weekend. And there's more local news ahead. Tonight at 10, the Madison Scouts are back in the area. We got to catch up with the famous drum corps ahead of tonight's performance. That's tonight at 10.
Don't you wish you could wave a magic wand and have whiter teeth? Well, you can, but it's not magic. It's power swabs. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and boom, whiter teeth and a better smile. And since you're not dealing with messy trays or awkward strips, you're less vulnerable to the harsh sensitivity they sometimes create.
I've used strips. They seem to really hurt my teeth. The power swabs, it just seemed very gentle.
It's so simple and easy. You just open it, you apply it to your teeth, you forget it's there, and I noticed that they're white and bright again like they were before.
I noticed actually a difference the first time that I used power swabs. You put on the first coat and then the activator goes on and immediately you start seeing it working.
It only takes 5-minute applications to get a brighter, whiter smile with power swabs. You just snap, swab, and smile. Power swabs have been clinically studied to whiten natural teeth and remove stains from caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so powerful, it removes stains from coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking.
I love my coffee in the morning.
I will never stop drinking coffee. I will not be the person drinking hot coffee with a straw.
As much coffee as I drink, I can use my power swabs and eliminate the staining.
When I use the power swabs, I applied it directly to my front tooth where the coffee stain was.
I like being able to individually get the teeth, and most importantly, it got kind of in between the grooves.
You can put it directly on the stain that you see on your teeth, and it's so precise.
But as powerful as it is, it's also gentle and causes 0 to minimal sensitivity.
This didn't sting, it didn't burn, it didn't have an aftertaste. It was just a swab, and I just got to rub it on my teeth, and that was it.
Take it from me as someone who has gone the dental route, but has also gone on the shelf route, and I've not really seen anything work as effective and as easy as power swabs.
Whiten your teeth today by ordering power swabs and receive 40% off the regular price. Shipping is free, plus you'll receive a free quick stick pen to use on the go after meals or a cup of coffee. Visit powerswabs.com or call the number on your screen.
Watching News 3 Now at 6.
Well, maybe you were drowning in regrettable pandemic purchases, or maybe you just didn't get around to that spring cleaning. Either way, a local climate change group is asking that you don't throw out your trash and instead donate it to their cause. 350 Madison hosted its first garage sale fundraiser today. The organization's goal is to encourage as many people as possible to reduce, reuse, and recycle their belongings.
The idea is, if we can give old things new life, either by, finding a new home for it or completely repurposing it in a new way, I think that's a great thing to do, and also help everybody else get rid of some of their extra stuff.
I've got a couple items that I probably should think about donating myself. If you didn't get a chance to donate today, you can find out how to arrange a future drop-off or pickup by going to 350madison.org. Well, it's hard to believe that August starts tomorrow, and that means families are already getting their school supplies ready. Christina Laurie explains how you can help parents in need to make sure that their children have everything they need to succeed this school year.
Heading back to school can not only be stressful for kids, but for parents who are unsure how they're going to be able to afford the supplies their kids need for the upcoming school year. This weekend, there's a way you can help.
When you're a kid, there's nothing quite like the smell of a fresh rubber eraser, the promise of a blank notebook, or the excitement of getting to pick out a brand new backpack.
To come in with like a backpack and all the school supplies that they need.
just gives them, it has to give them a lot of confidence.
But for many families, affording school supplies is getting more and more difficult. According to Huntington Bank's Backpack Index, on average, elementary school parents spend more than $600 on clothes, supplies, and technology for their kids each year.
In our business, I mean, we have a platform to connect with a lot of different people.
That's where the Hanson brothers come in. You might recognize Eric and Brett from Local Listings. The brothers are realtors who grew up in McFarland.
You know, this is like where we work, this is where we live.
And it's where they want to make a difference, which is why the Hansons are hosting a school supply drive Sunday, collecting backpacks, notebooks, pencils, and more outside their offices in Verona. Their goal, collect 100 backpacks to donate to the Road Home, a local nonprofit that serves families who are experiencing homelessness. But more than that, to empower kids.
I can do what any other kid is doing.
And get them excited for a new school year.
And we've put all the information about the time and location of tomorrow's drive up on our website, channel3000.com. Reporting in Madison for News 3 Now, I'm Christina Laurie.
The drive starts at 1 o'clock tomorrow at Hanson's office on Main Street in Verona. They're just right across the street from Miller's grocery store. As an extra incentive, an ice truck will be there handing out cool treats to everyone who donates. Well, we're one day away from finding out who's the fittest on Earth. Next at 6, you're going to find out how we can join in on the action tomorrow. Plus, Austin is following chances for storms tonight. He's back after the break with the latest forecast.
Unlock a summer of possibilities in a new Chevy. Expand your options and your perspective. Find your next adventure in a new Chevy.
Make no monthly payments for the rest of the summer on all Silverado 1500 Crew Cab pickups. Plus, get 2.49% financing when you finance with GM Financial. And get $2,000 cash allowance.
You've been taking mental health meds and your mind is finally in a better place. Except now, you have uncontrollable body movements called tardive dyskinesia, TD. And it can seem like that's all people see. Some meds for mental health can cause abnormal dopamine signaling in the brain. While how it works is not fully understood, Ingressa is thought to reduce that signaling.
Ingressa is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with TD movements in the face and body. People taking Ingressa can stay on their current dose of most mental health meds. Don't take Ingressa if you're allergic to any of its ingredients. Ingressa may cause serious side effects, including sleepiness. Don't drive, operate heavy machinery, or do other dangerous activities until you know how Ingressa affects you. Other serious side effects include potential heart rhythm problems and abnormal movements.
Shift the focus more on you. Ask your doctor about Ingressa. It's simple. 1 pill, once daily. #1 prescribed for TD. Learn how you could pay as little as $0 at Ingressa.com.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for the credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to completely resolve your credit card debt with a monthly payment you can afford. To see how much you could save, call now. 1-800-914-7929. Don't declare bankruptcy. Don't consolidate. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. After all, we depend on your success and offer a guarantee so there's no risk to call. Credit Associates. Live better, debt-free. We'll even show you how to use your stimulus money to jumpstart our services and get you debt-free faster than you ever thought possible. Call Credit Associates now to see how much you could save for free. Call 1-800-914-7929.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
Well, this year's CrossFit Games wrap up tomorrow afternoon, but if you can't make it to the Alliant Energy Center, there's no need to worry. We'll be airing this year's games right here on CBS tomorrow afternoon with live coverage starting at 1 o'clock. Well, let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast with meteorologist Austin Kopnitsky.
And, you know, we have seen quite a bit of some cloud cover overhead here for today, but that's helped to keep down our overall temperatures. A few things of note here over the next week or so. We do have those thunderstorms still possible for these evening hours. Little rain, however, is expected for next week as we really do look to dry things out. And we're not going to see a ton of cloud cover either. Plenty of sunshine for this next week, so that's even more good news right there. On to the bad news. Pretty much the entire state currently under that air quality advisory until noon for tomorrow. And that's again because of the Canadian wildfires continuing to spit that smoke out, and then it has moved down overhead on top of us. And unfortunately, it's really stagnated over these last few days. But we are also looking out for that marginal risk for severe weather. Just to put this in perspective one more time here, earlier on in this week, we saw a level 4 out of 5 according to the Storm Prediction Center, and that was a moderate risk. That's where we saw the reds in here. But now this green shaded area, that's a marginal risk for severe weather. We're looking at about a 5% chance to see a strong to severe thunderstorm. Still a possibility, so we are still going to continue watching out for it. Right now, haven't seen too much of that locally. These storms were pretty strong at first here up around Camp Douglas, but they've really devolved to just a few showers. Now you take a peek up north, these are very short-lived thunderstorms. So what we have seen develop up north, there's a good possibility that these end up falling apart as well as they continue to track their way down south. But if they do hold on, we could be in for some thunderstorm activity here over the next few hours. So of course, we're going to keep on monitoring this over the next few hours. This is our updated future track, and it does try to show some of these moving into our area here and there. And it is, again, a possibility, but there's also a good chance that you end up getting through today staying pretty much completely dry. But our future track does show that we are going to see, or actually rather another future track. This is a different model. This is going to show much of the same here, but it also shows a slightly drier outcome. So that is, again, a possibility. There is a potential that we end up staying dry here through parts of tonight, but then there's another chance that some areas see those strong, possibly severe thunderstorms, although we're not expecting widespread severe activity here for today. Rain chances, we're looking at about a 10% chance tomorrow, a few 20% chances here over these next 10 days, but really nothing of note as of right now. That, of course, could end up changing. Current temperatures, feels pretty great out there with the mid-70s, and the cloud cover overhead still actually does make it feel pretty good out there. And the dew points have increased since yesterday, but we're still in the low 60s, so it's a little bit on the muggier side of things, but it's not too muggy overall. High temperature trend is going to show a warm up, and here's another visualization of that with some sunshine, and we're going to see a lot of sun over these next 10 days. Still, that's those small chances for some showers or thunderstorms here and there, as you can see, but for the most part, most of these next 10 days will stay dry. Most of these next 10 days will stay on the lesser side of humidity, but the humidity is going to pop back up here towards the end.
Of course, the humidity's always comes back.
We can't get a break, man. Well, it is the dog days of summer starting tomorrow. August kicking off, so we should be seeing a little bit of humidity at least.
Why don't you just kind of gather with all of the weather people and let's just figure out a way to change that, all right?
I'm calling Mother Nature right after the show, seeing what I can do.
Thank you so much, Austin. Coming up in sports, bye-bye Bobby, why Milwaukee's favorite member of the bench mob might not be a Buck next season. Zach's going to explain next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
To be a thriver with metastatic breast cancer means asking for what we want and need, and we need more time. So we want Kisqali. Living longer is possible and proven with Kisqali when taken with a non-steroidal aromatase inhibitor in premenopausal women with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer. Kisqali is a pill that's significantly more effective at delaying disease progression versus a non-steroidal aromatase inhibitor alone. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Kisqali is not approved for use with tamoxifen. Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
Angie's List is now Angie, and it's easier than ever to get your projects done right. With Angie, you can connect with top pros and see ratings and reviews. And when you book and pay through Angie, you're covered by our happiness guarantee. Check out Angie.com today. Angie, and done.
If you can afford to launch yourself into space, you can pay your fair share in taxes. But billionaires and big corporations have avoided paying taxes for years. President Joe Biden's plan makes the rich pay their fair share so we can cut taxes for families with children and create millions of good jobs. Tell Senator Ron Johnson to stop putting billionaires ahead of the middle class. If you can afford to joyride in space, you can pay your fair share.
At U.S. Cellular, we know the local landscape, so we can help everyone stay connected for less.
Right now, get up to $1,200 off any 5G phone. The choice is yours.
Whether it's adapting the network for a strong signal where you work or optimizing your coverage where you play, we're always hard at work to make sure our state-of-the-art 5G network works for you.
Up to $1,200 off any 5G phone with no trade-in or hidden fees.
U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless.
Enhanced risk to see those strong storms.
Before.
The most important thing now is to prepare.
During.
You should be in a safe area immediately.
And after the storms. Trust First Warn Weather. Committed to keeping you safe and ahead of the storm.
Early in the week, the Brewers placed Christian Yelich and Jace Peterson on the COVID-19 injured reserve list. Today, Craig Counsell added a couple more names there. Both Hunter Strickland and Jay Cousins have tested positive. Their game, though, on as scheduled against the Braves tonight for 6:20. David Bakhtiari's status for the first couple of weeks of the regular season is to be determined. Remember, he's still working his way back after tearing his ACL back in December. So participating at training camp, well, that's out of the question. But this week, he caused a bit of a stir with a jersey swap. And that isn't Bakhtiari, but it looks like him. It really is new Packer offensive lineman Dennis Kelly. He's 6'8", 321 pounds. Bakhtiari is 6'4", 310. Almost twins, and their personalities, they're pretty similar too.
When I was going through kind of the tour around the building, just worked out that David was coming in right away or right during that time, and just brother, and just started talking. He's like, "What would be a great idea?" And so it's like good way to introduce myself to everyone, and keep things light and fun. And apparently it worked.
Fresh off his best season in the NBA and helping the Bucks win their first world championship in 50 years, Bobby Portis might not be back in Milwaukee next season. The fan favorite from the bench mob is declining his $3.8 million player option and will become a free agent. Now, Portis only averaged 20 minutes per game last season, but was second on the team in rebounding behind only Giannis. Meanwhile, two of his teammates took care of business in group play this morning. Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday combined for 19.7 boards and 5 assists in the United States' 119-84 win over the Czech Republic. Team USA moves on to the quarterfinals, which tip off on Tuesday. And today was Ryan McDonough's day with the Cup, so what does the former Badger do? Well, have another boat parade, of course. McDonough and Lord Stanley's Cup flew into Polk County and celebrated on Balsam Lake. After beating the Canadians to win his second straight Stanley Cup championship, McDonough became just the 6th UW alum to have his name engraved on the Cup at least twice. So we should probably all just go find Ryan and hang out with him tonight.
I think so.
I was going to say, give me one night. That'd be so cool to be with the Cup. That'd be
right?
so awesome.
That'd be amazing.
All the stories we'd have to tell.
Austin, how is his weather looking tonight for the Cup celebration for him?
It would be a good night, I would say. The evening, we do have that chance for showers and a possibility of a thunderstorm. 1 or 2 of those may be strong to severe, but then later on tonight, it'll become mostly clear. We're still looking at a little bit of some haze from the wildfire smoke up in Canada. And then your extended forecast, I mean, for a summer forecast, it's really tough to beat this, especially with the lack of humidity over the next 5 or 6 days or so. I'll take this forecast all summer long if I possibly could, especially these next few days.
Well, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Make sure to tune in tonight at 10. Good night, everyone.